Since Victor Wembanyama came into the league, NBA players have come to the realization that he's not just hard to guard. It doesn't even make sense that he's so good already.
When I see Wemby, I'm like, what the fuck?
Because what do you do when someone is taller than every center on the floor, but moves like a guard, shoots like a wing, and sees the game like a point guard? That's the problem the NBA is trying to solve right now with Victor Wembanyama. And the craziest part is, NBA players themselves don't have answers.
He's taller than Rudy Gobert. He can block shot like Rudy, but shoot like KD. Oh, crazy.
Here's NBA players explaining why Victor Wembanyama is so hard to guard, and why he's equally unstoppable on the other side of the court. Victor Wembanyama has been responsible for a lot of Spurs wins this season.
When I see Wemby, I'm like, what the fuck? He's a what the like, this guy's 7'4". He got handles like a guard. He's doing jab step pull-up threes. He's doing fadeaways. He's doing spin off the post. He's running the floor. He's catching lobs. He can do everything on the court.
Dwight Howard was one of the best defenders of his day, and what he says here shows how alien Wemby really feels like. The first reason Wembanyama is so hard to guard is actually the simplest. It's the fact that he should not even be able to do all the things he does. We're talking about a 7'4" player with an 8-foot wingspan who can handle the ball, create his own shot, and pull up from three like a perimeter scorer. And when you combine that with his release point, it creates something defenders literally cannot contest. Because even if you play perfect defense, you are still too small. Normally, you can take something away from a player. You can force them into a weakness. But with Wembanyama, every defensive decision creates another problem. If you play him tight, he blows by you with guard-like movement. If you give him space, he rises into a jumper you cannot block. And if you switch a smaller defender onto him, look, why would you even do that? But if you put a big on him, he pulls them out to the perimeter and just dissects the defender. With Wemby, there's just no correct answer. And you can really feel it when you listen to Jabari Smith describe how it feels here.
It's just stuff like that, like you really can't teach, you really can't get. Alien, you know what I'm saying? Like some people say, he young, he gonna figure it out, but you know, it was tough. Real tall, a lot of skill. And he got a great coach with him, so great teammate, so he playing the game the right way. You know, it's gonna work out.
That's how it feels like going up against him. And then that fear gets worse when you try to score.
Advantage, Smith. Oh my, blocked by Wemby. Blocked again by Wemby, get it out of here.
What makes Victor Wembanyama different from almost every player in the league defensively is that while most defenders react to plays, Wembanyama changes the play before it even happens. Those aren't my words, it's from one of the best defenders of all time.
I'm a positional defender, so I'm not giving you your spots that you want to get to. I like to deter shots.
And more from Draymond Green here.
When you look at a Victor Wembanyama, he is one that does that same thing but in a different way. Because all of a sudden the guy gets to the hole, and whereas you usually just take that shot, you see a lot of times guys see him in the area and they just dribble the ball out.
Think about that for a second. He's forcing players to second guess themselves in real time. And even when you think you've finally beaten him, you haven't. And that is the nightmare, because in basketball, creating separation is supposed to be enough. But against Wembanyama, separation doesn't matter, which is why even elite defenders are willing to admit something you almost never hear.
To sit and say today that my defense is more impactful than Victor Wembanyama's, I think that would be a lie.
That is Draymond Green saying that, a defensive player of the year, a player whose entire career is built on defensive impact, and even he is telling you that this is different. So, what do you do about a player that even Draymond Green refuses to say he's better than? Victor Wembanyama is probably the only player with a defensive game that makes NBA players hesitate on offense while they feel helpless on the other side of the court. And speaking of help, we would like you to join our YouTube family and help us all grow together. So don't just watch, be a part of it. Join our membership today and get early access to videos and level up with discounted merch. His offensive game is really unique because if you guard him like a big, he plays like a guard. If you guard him like a guard, he punishes you like a big. And the players who have actually had to deal with this are telling you the same thing.
Who's the best player you've ever played against?
Wemby. I remember playing him the first time in San Antonio, and we was going at it. I think he ended up having like 30, and I had like 40. Like, it was going at it. Like, literally, we was going at it.
Yeah.
7'4", 7'3", or some shit like that. Can handle, can shoot it. Like, and it's like, once he like grows into his body and gets strong, like, it's gonna be a problem.
This is coming from one of the best defenders of this era, a player built to guard bigs, wings, and protect the rim. And even he is saying this is only gonna get worse.
When you're 7'3" and you stand in front, nobody's gonna block a shot. You know, like, you're shooting over the top. So, you know, at that point, you just pray that you miss.
That is the reality. You are not contesting the shot, you are just hoping. And if that was not enough, he can also weaponize his size in the simplest way possible, by just attacking the basket over and over again.
Just imagine if he put all his energy towards going to the basket every single play. Shoot. Who's going to stop him? Now they're getting teams in foul trouble.
Basically, Wembanyama removes the idea of finding a solution to him. No matter what you do, you are wrong. And once a player reaches that level offensively, guarding them is no longer about stopping them. It's about surviving the possession. At this point, the scariest part about Victor Wembanyama is not just what he can do, it's what defenders are forced to accept. Although it's worth mentioning that Wemby's offensive game still needs more polishing, but that's where his incredible mentality comes into the picture, because this is someone who wants to be great and is ready to continue improving till he gets there. And this is why the conversation around him has already gone far beyond future star. It has entered territory we almost never touched this early.
Victor Wembanyama has the physical tools and the mentality, if he's able to stay healthy, to go down as maybe the greatest of all time. What have you seen from Victor Wembanyama, and do you think that is a pipe dream what I'm talking about, or do you think that's something that could potentially happen one day?
Even former future stars like Lonzo Ball are already saying things like this. And if you think, well, Lonzo doesn't know ball, here's Kendrick Perkins.
In 25 years from now, the GOAT conversation is going to go with starting with these three names: LeBron James, Michael Jordan, and Victor Wembanyama.
Now think about that. We are not talking about an all-star. We are not talking about a superstar. We are talking about a player that NBA minds already believe could redefine the top of basketball history. And the reason why is simple. Because there has never been a player where the correct defensive strategy is literally nothing. There's a quality about Victor Wembanyama that makes all this possible. And here's Dylan Harper with the gist.
I mean, see it every day. I think what he puts into the game just rewards him. I mean, the basketball guys just reward him every day, I think. Just the way he comes in, his attitude, his approach to everything is probably the most mature I've seen at anyone his age.
Victor Wembanyama is not just hard to guard. He's going to continue to get harder to guard or score on because his mentality is all about becoming better. This is why players do not talk about stopping him. They talk about surviving him. But if you want to see another player who is causing a similar kind of nightmare for defenders, watch NBA players explaining why Anthony Edwards is so hard to guard next.